Hebrews 11 verse says, "Now faith is confidence in what we hope for and assurance about what we do not see." Hi guys, welcome to the channel. My name is Melvie and thank you so much for being here. In today's video, I just wanted to share with you all the biggest lesson I've learned from God in 2023. So last year I studied the year normally. I planned my year as usual, but something happened to me that I didn't plan at all, and it was a major change in my life. So last year I moved from a different province to where I am living now. And if I tell you we moved from where we were, we left there with no jobs, with without knowing what was going to happen, where we were going. I'll just go a little bit back so you guys can have all the story there. My husband and I were talking, I think in 2022, about moving in a different province, but the idea was just there, and then we were like, never mind, we're just gonna stay here. And then in 2023 I was planning to go back to school, and the program that I wanted to do was not in the province that I was living into, but still I was planning to do it online so we can stay there, because my husband had a good job and I also had a job. I was on maternity leave at that moment, but I had my job. I was going back to work like in a few months, so everything was going normal. And then in July we were supposed to travel for my sister's wedding in a different province. So before we traveled there, I just felt in my heart like the Lord was telling me, when we will be traveling, we need to visit few places and just check out the place where my sister were living, in case we might end up moving there. I just felt like that. I told my husband that, and he was like, "Oh, probably not, that's not our plan." And my husband was like, "Maybe next year we can plan to move, but not this year at all." When we went back after the wedding, I had this dream, and usually God speaks to me via my dream. So I had this dream where I saw myself walking, and then someone was telling me, "You need to run." That person told me 3 times, "Run, run," and I was just like, "Oh, I'm just walking, I'm too tired, whatever." And then there were just like a big storm, or a big a rain just started right there, and then I started to run. I remember someone was telling me run, but I was not running. So when I started to run, I saw someone, a girl that we were friends when I was living back where I was. We were friends at uni, but that girl also traveled in the same province where my sister lives. So I saw her. She was coming in the other way, and then she was like, "Oh, it's raining pretty bad. This is my house. Since you live like few blocks ahead, I'm gonna give you an umbrella." She gave me an umbrella. I was like, "Oh, thank you so much, thank you so much." And then I continued my way. That was the dream. When I dreamed about that, I shared that with my mom, and then my mom was like, "I think God is telling you it's time to move." And when I prayed about that dream, the Holy Spirit was telling me, "You guys need to speed up the selling process, because we wanted to sell her home. You need to speed up the selling process." That was the meaning of you running meant. I was like, okay. But when I shared it with my mom was like, "More, you seeing that girl giving you an umbrella, that also means that you need to move to that province, because she lives there, and an umbrella spiritually, that's what my mom says, spiritually means protection. God wants to cover you, so you need to move there. God is going to protect you." When I shared that with my husband, he was like, "I have a good job here. I don't want to move. I don't want to leave." It was just too much, and I was trying to convince my husband that I think it's time for us to move. And he was like, "Okay, you're going to start searching for jobs there. If you find a job, that is when we will move." So I started to pray about it, just to be sure, making that big move. I know we have a child, and my husband has a good job here. I just don't want to, leave the comfort, leave the, everything that we had, to go somewhere we don't know, we don't have jobs, we don't have no security at all. So I started to pray about it, but in my heart I just felt so much peace whenever I was praying about it. I told my husband, "The peace that I'm feeling means we need to go." And he was like, "No, I don't think so. You need to find a job first." I started job searching. I think it was back in August. I couldn't find nothing. At that moment we were also like, you know, prepping our house to put it in the market and everything. So the house went in the market by the end of August, and he was like, if the house sell and then you find a job, maybe you can move, because my husband didn't want to leave his job. I kept praying, and then the house goes back to the market, and I told my husband, we really need to move, because I'm still applying to jobs, getting into interviews, but I couldn't secure a job. And we just planned everything we need to move. I think at the very last moment I found a job. They gave me an offer, but I was not okay with the salary, and for the first time in my life I just said no. I just turned down the offer, and I was like, we're going to move even though we don't have jobs. And I told my husband, you need to tell, you know, your bosses that we're moving soon and then we're going to go. So my husband announced to his work, and every single day he was reminding me, we need to find jobs here. You are the one who will say we need to move. If I don't find a job, if we don't have security, blah 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 blah. I was just like, God, I know you're going to do something. I kept praying. I kept just praying and saying, God, if you're giving me this peace, if you, like, you know, you're convincing me this is the time for us to move, you give us the jobs, just do everything. My daughter and I traveled in the end of September. We came here. I started to look for apartment. Most of the apartment, they will ask you, you know, to have this amount of salary for the both of you. And at that time I already quit my job, so I was not working. And then I found an apartment. They didn't even ask for anything. If I tell you, God can just do things without, you know, they didn't ask me for anything. It was just like, oh, your husband works, oh, let us send us like maybe a letter proving that he's working right now. They didn't ask for how much he was earning and anything. It was just like, boom, you are accepted. Okay, that was the miracle number one. We found a place, we found an apartment. I was so happy. So I kept praying for the job, and then once I found the apartment, I think a few days after that, my husband just called me that one of the jobs he was applying, they just offered him a job, a position. I was like, okay. The miracles are just, you know, they would just keep going. And before even we moved here, my sister already found like a daycare for my daughter. So I was just job hunting, because I was at home, my daughter was going already to daycare, and I didn't have a job at all. So I kept looking for a job. So my husband came, and then he started work actually like 1 week after he arrived. So everything was just going well. And when my husband came, we started to plan, you know, everything, and we were just like, you know, having one car, and his work was a bit like taking too long. And with one car, we couldn't just, you know, he couldn't every day pick up our daughter from daycare. And I was just like, I can't take taxi every single day to daycare and everything. So my husband went to his job, and I think on the first day they announced to him that they were going to give him a car, because because of his position he needs to have a car. Like, mind you, we were already looking for cars so we could buy a car. And then God just did it. Okay, they were going to give him a car because of his position. Everything was just working so perfectly well. And I was like, and I even remember when he called me to say they're about to give me a car for my position. I was just like, oh my God, this is God. This is God. This is like, no human can do that for me. Okay, it was God. And then a month ago, I also found a job that I'm starting like the beginning of January. I'm starting a new job. This is just, I wanted to share to say, trust in God even if you don't know what is going on. If God really put something in your heart, like he showed you something, know that he's going to provide all along. Like, you don't have to be on your own, you know. God got you. God is going to do it for you. If he did it for me, like the way I was just like, oh my God. Every single time something was happening, I was just like, oh my God. I didn't know, like, you know, you already prepared everything the way you did, because everything turned out perfectly well. My husband found a job, we have a place to live, we have now 2 cars, like everything's just secure, everything's good. I just wanted to, you know, to come here and share this testimony and just say to someone, when God, you know, when God puts something in your heart to do, follow God's way. He will be with you. He will not let you down. Have the faith. Have the faith that God can do things for you. Because I'm the type of person, I hate like being in uncertainty, you know, going after the unknown, something that I don't know. What I was just afraid. I was also afraid. And even when my husband kept asking me, you know, you are the one who chose, you are the one who said we need to move, you said God told you, you said God gave you peace. If I don't find a job, if like, I was just like, oh my God, I know you can do something. Please God, look at what he's saying. Please God, don't leave me. I was praying and God proved to me, like God just showed to us how big, how strong, how powerful, how capable he is. And if he did it for me, I know he can also do it for you. I just wanted to share with you this testimony to tell you, have faith in God. Even if you don't see clearly where you're going, even if you don't have, you know, everything, just know that the light is somewhere there. The more you'll be going forward, the more God will start to clear the way for you. Trust in God even if you don't know nothing, you don't see nothing, everything is black. The light is there. The light is somewhere there, and God is going to do it for you. It's really a good message for you to start this 2024. I love you guys. I'll see you in the next one.